Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this section I am going to discuss about cost of capital. Each and every company needs capital. To raise the capital, we have various sources of finance in the market. They are equity, share capital, preference, debentures, loan, etc. So in financial management, each sources have a cost. The cost of capital is the minimum rate of return expected by the investors. The capital of the firm, it consists of debt, preference share capital, retained earnings and equity share capital. So it's a minimum rate of return a firm must earn on its investments so that the market value of the company's equity shares does not fall. For a company, capital is raised in two ways: owned capital and borrowed capital. Owned capital, it is a long-term sources of finance we can receive through equity shares and preference shares. We can receive borrowed capital like debenture and bond. In order to know about the cost of capital very clearly, I am explaining the sources of finance once more. So you just listen very carefully. Every business needs funds or capital, isn't it, to raise the capital. We have various sources of finance in the market like equity shares, preference shares, debentures, even bank loans. The short-term finances are received through bond, bank loans and all. So in financial market, only four sources are included to study in detail. First one is equity share capital, which is denoted as KE. Then preference share capital denoted as KP. Debenture KD. And the last one is retained earnings, which is denoted as KR. So each sources have a cost. So fixed rate of dividend is given to the preference shareholders, isn't it? Like that, fixed rate of dividend should be paid to the debentures, and even the equity shareholders also receive a dividend. So each sources have a cost, isn't it? So that cost will we say as specific cost. Each sources, equity share, preference share, debenture, retained earnings, every sources of finance have a specific cost. When we talk specifically about the equity, it is a specific cost. Like when we talk specifically about preference share capital, it is a specific cost, and it the same is for debenture also. So the combination of equity share capital, preference share capital and debenture together, we call it as explicit cost. So these are the costs which have to be paid for the outsiders, whereas in retained earnings we call it as an implicit cost. As retained earnings is not given to outsiders, it is invested inside the company. That is, it is the undistributed profit used to finance the requirement of the business. Often the company, they do not distribute all the earnings or profit to the shareholders. So they retain a part or all the earnings for financing, expansion, even diversification and all. So together the combination of equity shares capital, preference share capital, debenture and retained earnings, together we call it as combined cost of capital. Together we call it as a combined cost of capital. Therefore, the combined cost of capital is a combination of equity shares, preference shares, debentures and retained earnings. So simply we can say that cost of capital is the rate of return the firm requires from investment in order to increase the value of the firm in the marketplace. Next we can see the classification of cost of capital. First one is explicit and implicit cost. Next, specific and composite cost, future and historical cost, then average and marginal cost. First one is explicit cost. It refers to discount rate at which the total present value of cash inflow is equal to the total present value of cash outflow. It's actually money expenditure on input or payment made to the outsiders for hiring their factor service. As I explained before, like equity shares, preference shares and debentures together, we call it as explicit cost, and it is given, it's an expenditure for which is made for the outsiders. Next one is implicit cost. It's a rate of return the shareholders can get by investing the funds elsewhere, and it is a opportunity cost. As I explained earlier, it's not given to the outsiders. It is invested inside the companies for future expansion, growth, and development. So I hope you have understood this term very clearly. Next one is specific cost and composite cost. So the specific one is example, cost of debenture, cost of equity, cost of preference. These are the specific cost. The next one is composite cost. It's a combined cost of different sources of capital. It is a combined or a weighted average cost of capital, another name. So composite cost is relevant where more than one sources of capital is employed. For example, weighted average cost of capital is considered in evaluating the capital structure decisions. Next, we can see that future and historical cost. Future cost, it's a cost estimated for the future. It's the cost incurred in raising new funds. Whereas in historical cost, it is the cost incurred in the past in procuring the funds for the firms. So historical cost is useful as a guide for the estimation of the future cost also. Next, we can see the average cost and the marginal cost. Average cost is the combined cost of various sources of long-term finances, such as equity, shares, preference shares and debentures. Whereas marginal cost is the average cost of new, additional or incremental funds raised by the firms. Marginal cost is more relevant in making investment decision. So hope you have understood this topic very clearly. Thank you.